Okay, set this up properly. Alright. You know how I doubt anybody actually watches these videos anyway. I just do it just to do it, just to get it out of my head, because it'll bug me unless I do get it out of my head. So, I just finished playing Mass Effect 3. Uh, I really, all the, I don't have all the DLC, just all the free DLC. And I played the story, I finished the story, and, well, I chose the, I chose the synthesis ending, because, that was the one. It's like that was the one I would have picked to begin with either way. Or it's either that or, like, I guess, Control. I don't know. But, it's like, after I beat it, I went online, looked up some stuff, found all this random-ass crazy shit talking about, the ending. People trying to explain the ending. Like, apparently, the main thing going right now is the indoctrination theory that they were trying to, they were trying to indoctrinate Shepard throughout the entire thing. And part doesn't. It's like I don't understand. I kind of sort of didn't understand it because if that was, if that was the case, then wouldn't that have? I don't know. I'm just guessing it. I'm just guessing at all this. I really don't know. I mean, I mainly played Mass Effect 3 because I played 1. I started to play 2, but I never got to finish it, so I bought 2 as well, just so I can get through the whole game, just so I can beat just go through the whole freaking series, because I can't play one of them and then not play the rest of them. That's just who I am, I guess. With specific games that I'm actually into. But they're trying to say there's an indoctrination theory. There's the indoctrination theory where you're actually still on Earth when the Reaper comes, this Harbinger comes down and does the whole laser thing and blasts you and all this other stuff. And apparently you get up, you go over there. There's like a few husks, and you shoot them. Then the freaking, the Quarian Reaper husk guy shoots at you and everything is to kill that one. And you go up on the ship, and then apparently Anderson's on there and all this other stuff. Their theory is Shepard was still on Earth, and that him going up there didn't actually happen. He was being indoctrinated. Like, okay. And it's like, but apparently if it's not true, then the whole fucking Mass Effect, like the third one, was completely flawed or some shit like that. I don't know. But what they're saying, but back to the thought is like, he's unconscious. He's being controlled by the Reapers, and he's either choosing to I guess destroy. With his choices, either the blue choice, which was the control the Reapers, and then there's the synthesis, and there's destroy. Apparently, the synthesis and the control is him being indoctrinated, and then there's destroy, where he wakes back up or something like that back on Earth. I mean, it's like it's valid, but then it's not to me. I don't understand. I don't know why. Maybe hell, maybe he doesn't actually die. Maybe himself, he becomes also synthesized, but he's still on Earth still. You don't know. It doesn't actually say. They don't actually say, right? And then all you see is the group together. They put a plaque up for Anderson and Shepard, but they never actually show Shepard's body. They show it at the end. They show it at the destroy. Apparently he's on Earth, and the breathing part. But then the other ones, the other two, there's nobody whatsoever. Because apparently it was in space and it got destroyed. But then you have this other one. So the question, my question is, do you think, the destroy is the true? It's like, I'm trying to think of, because there's something that this reminds me of. It's like fighting games, specific fighting games. How there's only one character that, there's one character ending that's the actual real ending, right? And they go by that character's ending. That this character actually did all this. These other characters didn't actually do all this. It's just this one character. And that's the true ending. I can't even think of a game. I'm trying to think of a game. I think I think Virtua Fighter was one. I think that was may have been one where I think the true main character was Cage or Kage, whichever one he goes by. I really don't remember. I'm pretty sure it's Kage. But I've been calling Cage for like fucking ever something. Kage, Cage, whatever you want to call him. That he's the one that defeated Darrell. I can't even think of the name of that character, that specific character. But he's the one that actually defeats Darrell. Not even trying to go into this. I'm just gonna stick with one. But back to the Mass Effect thing, where it's an indoctrination theory that if he chooses to control them, he becomes indoctrinated. If he chooses to synthesis, he's indoctrinated, and if he chooses neither, then he's not indoctrinated and not under Reaper control. My thing is there I mean, if that were the case, I don't think he ever becomes indoctrinated. I honestly think there's a possibility, but it doesn't seem. But you never know. Here's what could have happened with with the him destroying ending, where he destroys them ending. He destroys the machine, and then he's teleported out of there. That's a possibility too, because of the fact that you have the mass relays. And I believe if I'm trying to go back to one where they had the car thingy. I can't think of the rover. I want to call it a rover because I can't remember the freaking actual name of it. The rover that they used, and they were on I want to say a Prothean planet or where the Protheans were or whatever, and they used that one mass relay to get back to the Citadel. What if there's a possibility that they used that the Reapers used that to transport him back to Earth? I don't think anybody's actually thought of that. And if they had, they just wanted to blow it off anyway. Like, fuck that. That's not possible. And okay, I'm just gonna throw out my own thing. If it's not a dream, the end, he was on Earth, he was teleported back. That would make more sense if you think about it. And if he wasn't indoctrinated. His body was actually disintegrated and everything else. He was disintegrated. He became a part of it. Why? It's not that the Reapers. I think the Reapers were looking for that one person to help end the cycle. They took specific people because they believed that they could end the cycle, but they couldn't because they weren't strong enough. They weren't mentally strong enough. They didn't have the right, I don't know, energy or a spirit. And they were easily manipulated. Not by the Reapers themselves, but by their own what's the word? Ambitions, I guess. I don't know the exact words. Maybe someone will understand what the hell I'm trying to say. I don't know if I'm speaking clear or not. I never actually do. I just talk. Okay, so, if it's actually happening, then he was teleported back to the Earth. He was teleported back to Earth. He was put right there. If he wasn't, then he was in the synthesis, the control, and his body was. I mean, and that's the part that gets me too, because it was been brought up. The freeze frame and everything where they show either one where he's been disintegrated. His eyes. His eyes His eyes are the specific color and everything. Have the specific distinction of being indoctrinated. And his body starts looking like apparently it starts looking like a husk. And from what I can tell, the husks themselves are just like a halfway mark. Yeah, basically a halfway mark between full on being a part of it, a part of the whole thing, and staying behind. And it's like, okay, we can take this much of you, but the rest of you can't. It's like we can take specific parts of you, but the rest of you cannot cross over, right? Or maybe they just took the spirit, or, the life force. They just took their life force because they thought, okay, well, this isn't. okay, we can use this, their life force, but their bodies we don't actually need. And with the synthesis ending, maybe they're all put back. You know, like I said, this is all just thoughts in my head. You know, my own little theory thing that they're like their essence or spirit or whatever you want to call it. That part of the part of you that makes you you was taken from them. It was taken from them, and they, because even with that, you know, maybe you're like, your brain, your brain waves and everything like that. Even with that, that still makes you you. They took all of, they took that, brain waves and all this other stuff, the part that everything that makes you you, and basically turned it into and basically turned it and used it for like a living computer or whatever. Maybe. I'm just guessing. That's what it seems like to me. But then there's the indoctrination theory that he never left Earth, and that he never made it to the thing, he never made it to the beam, he's still on Earth, and all this other stuff. They've got enough stuff. They have enough things to back it up and all this other crap. Then it's like, apparently you choosing this ending, and blah 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 this and blah 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 that. It's just all in his head. The kid is all in his head and all this other stuff. They're trying to say that, oh, the kid was never actually there. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that was just him. Maybe that could have been just stress altogether. From like, going through all this shit before. Like post-traumatic stress disorder. It could have been that. Because he's been through a lot of shit already. So for him to be actually unaffected by it wouldn't really make any sense unless he's like some sort of cold, some hard, cold, some cold-hearted individual that doesn't, that's just doing this to do this. Hell, I'm pretty sure in the Metal Gear series, even freaking Snake has, post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm pretty sure. I know for fucking sure Raiden's ass does. But then, he has to find some way to cope, to get over it. And creating the kid was a part of it. For the kid to actually show up again later on as, the character, whatever the hell it was, the AI or some shit like that. If he was indoctrinated, but then would it really doesn't that mean his body's, wouldn't there still be a whole bunch of stuff in it? Isn't there still, there's like, I don't know. I guess you're trying to say that it still leaves a huge hole in the story, which it would. But then it's like this. That's not the only. I know that, and I'm pretty sure that's not the only theory. I'm pretty sure that's probably the only one they've actually come up with. I'm pretty sure other people have said something about it, and other people have been like, "Oh, fuck you, you're stupid. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about." But there could be hundreds and hundreds of other fucking theories. I stick with my thing that he made it. He actually made it there. Anderson was there. He followed right behind him, and the teleporter thing through the teleporter. Yeah, they followed. I think he said, was he followed him? Followed right behind him? Maybe. I don't know. Hell, maybe I'll go back. Maybe I'll go back and replay the part, and look behind me to see if anybody's actually there. But you never know. Anderson could have showed up like right afterwards. Anderson could have used, like, well, Shepard goes through the thing, Anderson could have sprinted right behind him, tried to be sprinting right behind him, and all this other stuff, and you're just like, well, Anderson's body is not, he doesn't look like how Shepard did, the freaking, his armor was all freaking blown to hell, because, I'm pretty sure he took, like, not the direct beam itself, but part of it to his armor, so of course that would be, completely wrecked. But then, the question is you never know how far Anderson was behind him, right? Hell, I don't even know, actually. I don't even think that was I don't even think, I don't think I actually paid attention to that either. Sorry, that's going on my Xbox. Looking at stupid stuff. But, you don't know how far Anderson was behind him. Anderson probably just could have got... Okay, that's weird. Anderson probably could have got, like, a par, like a beam, or, like, like a huge bunch of rubble or whatever blasting on top of him, you know? What the hell? Weird. Weird. I'm looking at this thing on here. I'm getting sidetracked here. But, what the hell is it talking about? Oh, you're gonna play level 4 for that. That's stupid. But, yeah. Okay. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? I forgot. I keep losing track of thought. But, he doesn't just, he destroys the Reapers, then, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe maybe the Reapers were testing him. Maybe he had the right stuff. Maybe he's not. Maybe because of the fact that he wasn't easy maybe because maybe they were trying to. Okay, if they were trying to indoctrinate him, maybe it didn't work. Or maybe he transcended what they were. Maybe he transcended to the point where that's what they were looking for. That they wanted to find someone who wasn't easily manipulated into making these choices. Or, I don't know. I guess that's what I'm looking for. Is it? I don't know. Like I said, it's like everything in my head is like completely jumbled up. It's like mixed shit with me right now. Uh, I don't know. But yeah, if he was being maybe he was being indoctrinated, but then um during the process of being indoctrinated, they came to the conclusion that I don't know, he transcended what they were looking for, you know? But then they try to throw all this extra shit out there, just, whatever. It was like, whatever with it. It was like, yeah, okay. Um, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but okay. That's just me, though. If he was being indoctrinated, I think because of the fact that they put in that, I don't know, they put in that final ending for a reason. You know? That there's not, you could say that he was being indoctrinated, but then they don't show a body. They don't really do anything for the other two, but then there's the one where if he is being indoctrinated, then where's his body? They say, oh well, he's becoming a husk or blah 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 this blah blah blah. But if you watch the entire thing, his body is completely disintegrated. There's nothing left, which kind of sort of, in my opinion, kills the indoctrination theory. Even though they say his body is still on Earth, but then why put in that ending? For like, okay, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if there's a secret ending. I've seen the ending for Destroy. I've seen the secret ending for Destroy. I've seen the secret ending for Synthesis. I don't know I don't know if there's a secret ending for the other one, for the Control. I will probably look that up later. But I think it might be. You know what? I'm just gonna look it up now, real quick. I don't have shit else to do. I don't know how long this video is gonna last. Anyway, so let me just go ahead and do it anyway. No, I spelled that wrong. CONTROL ending. Control ending. Alright, just real quick. I'm gonna put it on silent real quick. I'm just gonna go all the way to the end of the video. Okay, so no, yeah. So it has that same ending with the kid and the old guy. So yeah, okay. It's the same ending. Where's, I mean, if it's in his mind, where's the body? They don't show his body. They don't show anything. So it doesn't really make any sense unless I mean, unless you're trying to say that, oh, well, he chose a synthesis ending and he got disintegrated along with the entire fucking planet or some shit. Or he got, I'm gonna use a race term. The entire planet got glassed, and then they left because he chose indoctrination. I guess. I went looked up the videos for indoctrination theory. I went through I skimmed through it. I listened to specific parts and all this other crap. I was like, oh my god, you people overanalyze the shit way too fucking much. And it really was. It's cool. It can make sense. It makes sense. You never know. This could be, it could be, could not be. You don't know. But it's like it's like so empty that you want to understand it. You want to put the pieces together, but it's it just confuses the fuck out of you. I mean, you don't understand why. But but maybe if he was indoctrinated, maybe the third choice was synthesis. Maybe it was. Maybe his body's still there, but what if his mind, they transport? Maybe it's not exactly in. Maybe everything that's done is in his head, but they're the ones controlling the crucible and everything, either the citadel, the crucible, and everything else, which they were. But what if they could do? What if they could do everything from there? What if his body's still there? What if his body's still there on Earth, but he didn't choose? He didn't actually choose. Okay, let's say you're right. Let's say the good choice to control was in fact indoctrination. Or what if it wasn't? If it was indoctrination, then he became indoctrinated. He'll wake up and he'll probably just disappear off the face of the freaking earth until they need him for some shit. If it wasn't, but it wasn't hit, but it was trying to hit. If it wasn't, if it was the indoctrination, but it wasn't exactly what they thought what was gonna happen, then you never know. With the whole thing, it kind of sort of opens up. For me, the indoctrination theory opens up new things. Like if it was, maybe he chose something completely fucking different, right? He chose so. He chose. The path he chose was completely different from everybody else's path. Everyone else wanted to try and do the same thing, or not exactly the same thing, but in a way it was like the same thing. In a way, it wasn't. Um, Saren wanted to join the Reaper, wanted to join the Reapers and humans, whatever. But the way he went about it was completely wrong. The Elusive Man wanted to control the Reapers, but he couldn't because he didn't have a strong enough will. Neither did Saren. But you play as a character that has these two choices, right? So maybe during his indoctrination, his choices, they see that because you're the character, your mind is open to more than just this and that, you know? And that instead of just giving him this and that, this guy is different. His choices, and the things that he has done has pushed beyond what all these other individuals have done. He has gotten, they would have, because, honestly, they would have to look at all the shit he has done completely and say, this guy is different, right? He got the frickin', I can't even think of, frickin', what was the Krogans, and, the Frickin' A. I can't remember the frick. It's like, it's all in my head, mashed up together. Solarians, there it is. That's what it was, right? The Solarians, I believe. Yeah, I believe that sounds about right. The Solarians. Let me make sure. I'm on the Mass Effect wiki right now. I'm just making sure. I'm got the shit in my head, and it's yeah, the Solarians. He got the Solarians to get rid of the he got the Solarians to get rid of the Genophage, and got the Krogan to fight with the Turians, and got one he got one Geth to help his entire race and to bring the Geth and the Quarians back together. Right? He's done all these things. He's even destroyed a Reaper. 2 Reapers, I think, if I remember. 2, technically 3 towards the end of the game. He's destroyed Reapers. He's destroyed these Reapers themselves. He's destroyed these giant monolith of ships, you know? I guess monolith. I don't know. These giant monster ships. He's destroyed them. He didn't do it alone. He had people helping them, but he did do it. Right? So they'd have to see him as an exception to probably what rules that they actually had. That this guy is different. He's actually done something. Perhaps he's the final solution. Perhaps this is the final solution we've been looking for, and he can unlock it. The indoctrination itself could have been just a test to see who was worthy, and he proved himself. And if they're going by the indoctrination theory, then from what I can tell, that if his body's still there, that, perhaps they used his mind. He didn't actually become indoctrined. If it was all in his head, then these Reapers are looking out to the planet. They're looking down at the planet on his body and everything, I don't know, guess checking his vitals and shit. And they're just watching him. And you've got the Reapers also looking through into his mind with, whatever, probably through his synthetic parts that he did have, And I don't know. It's all. There's so much theory there. There's so much more theory than just the indoctrination theory, and and parts in the indoctrination theory that can be changed, in my opinion. But it's like you're looking for something that can, that makes sense. But then with that you've opened up another door. Me watching that, it just opened up more doors. I can't just accept this one thing. That's it. He was indoctrinated, or it was on his mind. And if you choose the other 2 endings instead of the destroy ending, he's indoctrinated. But no, that doesn't make any sense. But then, what if, there's the what ifs and all this other stuff. If there's the indoctrination theory, the indoctrination theory was just a test to find an individual with the will strong enough to surpass being controlled. And he did that. That's just my opinion. He chooses the control theory. His body's not his body, but his mind is completely disintegrated, and essentially became a part of the catalyst, and was spread throughout the freaking thing. And his consciousness is gone basically, and control the Reapers of the and the synthesis. His consciousness is completely gone because they used what he had in his head, that will and that general thing that brings people together. They used that and just spread it, And in Destroy, they gave him the choice to, completely end the cycle by destroying these things that would annihilate annihilate all races and have them start right back the fuck over again. They gave him these choices because he was strong enough. They're trying to say, oh, well, if he chooses to destroy, then, he's not being he chooses not to be he fights the indoctrination and, blah, blah, blah this and blah, blah, blah that. Because, oh, they're losing their control in him because he starts standing up straight and starts shooting at the freaking thing. Then, you got the synthesis ending where, he's you're limping, then then he starts running, and you're like, wait, what? Because, that would kind of sort of kills the theory for me. That kind of sort of kills that indoctrination theory for me. On the other hand, there's, I don't know why. I'm probably sure I've repeated myself like several hundred times in this video. I don't care. I just talk just to talk, so I want to get this out of my head as much as possible. You've got the blue ending where okay, he could be indoctrinated, but then you've still got no body you've still got no body. All he's done is add his essence to the collective, and I don't know, they just do whatever. Then you've got the destroy ending where he's not indoctrinated, he's on Earth, he's alive, and blah 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 this and blah 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 that. And then you've got the synthesis ending. What if the synthesis ending is him not being indoctrinated, but yeah, I've already said it. I'm pretty sure I already said it. I can't remember the exact words I said. But the essence, his essence, and all this other stuff that brings these people together is just spread out throughout everything, throughout the entire freaking Milky Way galaxy. That could be it. That's just my guess. That's my guess. The third choice is him basically giving up physical form to become something more. Something that everybody needed. Because even with because if you think about it, even with the Reapers being controlled, something could happen. There could be another, a war between between all the races. Shit could happen, It could be a huge ass war again and start up again, and then the Reapers would probably, I don't know, like, for a while they'd be like, Shepard's mind is part of them, and they could trust his, his judgment and the whole thing until, shit happens, shit gets real, each race starts blowing each other the fuck up, and then there's like, Shepard, you were wrong, we're gonna fucking destroy him anyway. But then, then there's the destroy ending where, he's not indoctrinated, but then that would mean, I don't know, either the Reapers were actually destroyed, or they weren't, or they just fucking left. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. And if, he chooses that, then, and they basically just self-destruct, saying, you know what, fine, we're gonna leave this to you then. And they basically just left it to him. He's like, he's that centerpiece that keeps everybody together. And if anything happens, it's on him now, because they're not going to be there to freaking start the shit over again. Right? That's basically what they'd be doing. They'd be leaving him there. He'd be that negotiator for all the races. All interspecies relations and all this other stuff. He'd be the one that they'd have to go to for negotiations. And if he couldn't solve it, then wars would start, and people and other races would fucking die, and it would be all left on him. So it's basically just them saying, you know what, fuck you, we're leaving you guys to die. We're not gonna do this. It was like, fine, you made your choice. We're not gonna do this anymore. We're just gonna leave you all to die. That could be it. And then there's the synthesis ending, where it's like, I don't know. I really am repeating myself, because it repeats through my head constantly, and I just try to get it all out. And the synthesis ending, it's his energy, his aura, whatever you want to call it, that thing that made him him, that that thing that made him do what he did, that brought all these people together, is once again, like I said, it dispersed everywhere. Not only that, but once again, everybody becomes part organic, part synthetic. Most likely giving all the Reapers their own individuality and everything else, like freaking um, Legion did with his own people, with the Get, like with Legion, what Legion did with the Get. Become synthetic, organic, and they have free will. He's given the Reapers. He's given the. He's given. He basically gives them. He basically, everyone else already has free will. He's just giving it to the Geth as well. And there's like there's just a peace. But hell, I don't know. But I mean, this is just me throwing out what I think. I'm pretty sure that BioWare has a lot of shit. They have like a whole bunch more fucking DLCs that are coming out apparently. That I don't know, explain shit. I don't know. I don't really care all that much. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe they're just trying to make that. I mean, there's some people say. Some people just think, oh, they're just trying to make more cash. They're trying to get as much money out of your pocket as possible. That could be it. You never know. Could be, could not be. I don't know. There's a lot of shit. I mean, there's a lot of shit that's explained. There's a lot of shit that's not explained, and well, maybe we just have to wait and see. Wait, what the hell? Mass Effect Citadel Part 2 of 2. Why is 1 of 2 1200 and 2 of 2 free? That's weird. I just found this. One part of it's free, the other part isn't. Please purchase part 2 prior to please purchase part 1 prior to downloading part 2 at no additional cost. Oh, that's nice, I guess. I don't understand. Maybe they had to put it in 2 parts. I don't care. Whatever. But I mean, they say that they say that freaking Shepard's story is over. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I mean, with the other endings, where they 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 found. I mean, with the if it we'll go back to the indoctrination theory again, where there's a synthesis, and then there's the I would only call, well, in my opinion, I would only technically call the blue one, the controlling the Reapers part the synthesis, I guess. And the not the synthesis, but the green one, the synthesis, where it is the actual synthesis, where he's not indoctrinated. That's like the true ending, and his essence is dispersed throughout everywhere. And that would go, I mean, with the induction theory, and without it. That's just the true ending. That's how it's supposed to really end. These other two are just there, in my opinion. That's just me. Eh, eh. It's. I mean, everyone's trying to make everyone wants to make this big deal. Everyone wants to make these theories and everything else, and like, I don't know how long. I mean, I really don't know how long stuff's been out. I don't know if this stuff's been disputed or whatever. I'm probably gonna look it up later, just out of curiosity, just out like levels of, just like a high level, just a high level of curiosity that I have. But they do say that this is like the final. This is Shepard's last story. And if that's the case, then okay, I mean, I'm curious as to know what's next. I mean, are they gonna come out with like an MMO or stuff like that, or a mass multi? I mean, like like an MMO, like they're doing with Defiance, like Mass Effect MMO. or it's just a computer or whatever, or like a, you know, a co-op game where you buzz a specific player or whatever. I mean, I got my opinions on that too, but I don't know. I mean, I'll probably do it in a different video on a different day, whatever, if I ever feel like it. But my next thing is I don't feel like spending time on trying to freaking download all the extra DLC just to replay all this other stuff. I might get the game again just to play the multiplayer part because I did enjoy that. Even though some people say it sucks, I enjoyed it. But I would just get it just to get the multiplayer. And I usually only play story for games once because trying to play it the second time around, it's just like, okay, I already know what to do, and playing it on different difficulty level is just like, okay, whatever. But my next thing is now I'm gonna take Mass Effect 3, take Mass Effect 2, take them back to GameStop, trade them in for some store credit to put towards Defiance because I really want to play Defiance when it comes out next month. So yeah, there's a lot of rambling in this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, or at least watched a portion of it, or just probably just skip to the end. Just how I was saying. Well, if you watched half of it, then okay. If you didn't, okay. If you watched the whole thing, then wow. I'm actually completely shocked that someone watched the whole thing. See you later.